Alright, hello, welcome everybody back to Heroes of the Storm A to Z. I, of course, am Conman. We're going to take a look at Zeratul today. Zeratul, as you can see, he is a stealth hero just for starters. He is one of the most powerful heroes in the game. He's a high skill cap hero. He does require a lot of very solid mechanical skill in order to play effectively. It's going to take, a lot of practice in order to get his combos just right. He can, weave in and out of the enemy team. He can be very elusive and hard to pin down. When played correctly, he does provide an absolute tremendous amount of burst damage that can be unloaded on an unsuspecting target. Squishies are just the bane. He's the bane of their existence. People that he can sneak up on that are just isolated and out of place. He definitely punishes players who overextend. But again, it does require proper use of his abilities, to time them right, to really make the maximum, get the maximum value out of his skill set. Let's take a look at him in a nutshell. We'll kind of go through, why we think that is. First off, look at his character screen. So he's a melee assassin. He's got about 3,600 health. Pretty standard stuff there. He does have a solid amount of auto attack damage. 276 at level 20 is pretty straightforward. And his trait is a stealth. Kind of just basically exactly like Nova. If you played Nova, it's the same thing. You stealth after 3 seconds. You'll have the shimmer around people, so if they're eagle-eyed, they'll be able to catch you. But otherwise, it's just a permanent stealth. So it does allow you some, mobility to be able to kind of sneak through to the enemy backline. All right, let's look at his abilities. We're gonna toggle cooldowns here. First off, is Q is cleave. Deal 439 damage to nearby enemies. This is an AoE. It's on a 6-second cooldown. So you have your primary target, but this will also hit everyone in a line. If you're just being stupid, you can kind of go in and engage and then blink out. And we'll talk about blink, but definitely a good use of poke. It does give you. I'll say it gives you some wave clear with it. It's, wave clear obviously is not Zeratul's, main forte and what you're going to be using him for, but you can kind of burst through some enemy minions using cleave. Your W here is Singularity Spike. It is a skill shot. You've got a decent enough range on it. You fling a Singularity Spike, it sticks to the first enemy hit. It deals 500 damage. It does deal a significant amount of damage. After 1 second, it's going to explode, which is when the damage is dealt. And it slows the enemy by 40% for 3 seconds. It looks something like this. It will as well pop you from stealth. But this can be used to slow anybody, as an engage when you go in, slow people down, prevent them from being able to escape from your clutches. When we get to E, E is blink. You saw me kind of dancing back and forth. Teleport to the target location. Kind of like this. This can go over terrain. I think if I stay in here, I'll have just enough room. There we go. Yep, and you can go over terrain. It doesn't break stealth. So if you do stealth and you're being chased, if you have blink up, you can do something like this. 10-second cooldown. I'm sorry, I lied. 12-second on Singularity Spike, 10-second on blink. So it's a long enough cooldown that you don't want to use it unless it's going to be absolutely necessary. But blink is what gives Zeratul a lot of his elusiveness. So if you go in to an enemy, you throw your Singularity Spike, you do some damage, okay, and then you dump back out. Now, I didn't even do any combos or any special nonsense right there. Literally, all I did was just auto attack. I unloaded some abilities, and I bounced out, and I got 1,500 damage. And if this was, somebody at low health, they would basically be dead, and I will have already blinked away and kind of out of the way, of harm's way. Let's take a quick peek at his ults. First one is Shadow Assault, which I don't think it very rarely gets taken. I won't say never, but it very rarely gets taken. There's almost no reason why you'd want to take it. I don't know what the pick rates are. I would be shocked if Shadow Assault is anything more than 20%. Shadow Assault, here's what it does. 45-second cooldown. Your basic attacks cause you to charge at enemies and have 20% increased attack speed for only 4 seconds. So you get a little extra bonus damage. You can bonus damage because of the attack speed, and you can gap close. But that's not really what you're going to be using Zeratul for. And here's why I think the other talent is just so much better. Void Prison, 100-second cooldown, slows time in an area to a near standstill, placing allies and enemies in time stop. It's a stasis effect. It's going to look something like this. This just everybody here is completely stopped. Now you can walk through it, but you will... It'll hit allies and enemies, so it'll look something like that. What can this be used for? You can use this to, if you have to use it as an escape, you can. You know, it can be used more offensively. If you're in a team fight and you zone out, you know, 3 of the enemy team, and now it's a 2-on-5 for 5 seconds, that's a pretty big deal. You can cancel this. Whoops, you can cancel this early. So you can set up combos with this. So let's say, for example, I turn around, boom. I catch the enemy team in this. All of a sudden, here comes Jaina. She comes down and she drops Cone of Cold. Not Cone of Cold, excuse me. Ring of Frost or some other, you know, wombo combo type ability. You can cancel that at will. You can set up, you know, all kinds of things that you're able to set up. Zone people out. You know, if you're being chased or you're trying to fight for an objective, you kind of drop this down. Anybody who touches it is going to be frozen, and if they don't, they are going to have to run around it in order not to get to put in the stasis effect. And it, you know, Unstoppable isn't going to stop this. This is even going to freeze them through that. It's like the highest. I think Void Prison is the highest priority of status effects in the game. It's going to take precedence over everything else. It is going to freeze all of your cooldowns in place as well, so no cooldowns are going to, you know, tick down while you're frozen. So it's super, super powerful. You kind of have to see it now. I'm doing a poor job of explaining it, I think, but it really, you can use it to zone out enemies. Is the case in point, and set up big spike damage. You know, you catch 1 or 2 people in Void Prison, your team can then engage and then be ready to unload upon them as soon as this expires, or you let it go. Can put the enemy team in a bad spot. So that's why I think Void Prison is just absolutely hands down the superior ultimate. It's so good in so many different places. For an ult that doesn't use, you know, doesn't do any damage, it's amazing. Anyhow, let's take a look at some of his talents, and we'll talk about Zeratul and, you know, kind of what he's used for, and, you know, who I think counters him and stuff like that. So we'll reset here. Level 1.
Choose a talent.
We've got Greater Cleave, which just increases the radius, so more cleave.
Choose a talent.
We'll skip Vorpal Braid for a second. Shadow Hunter, it's a regen globe quest. Regen globes to lower the mana cost of blink by 2. Upon gathering 20 globes, it will reduce the cooldown of blink by 1 second. You don't have too much mana problems with Zeratul. You know, if you're playing it right, you know, you may be alive a long time, that eventually you'll be down. But in principle, I generally don't find myself having too much mana trouble to start with. So I guess it could be okay. But mana isn't really the reason why you take it. If you're going to take this, it's really more for the cooldown reduction. But this one is really strong, actually, which is Vorpal Blade. Activate to teleport Zeratul's last non-structure basic attack target within 3 seconds. The target is revealed during these 3 seconds. Let's look at this. So I'm going to attack this thing. Okay, you see it's revealed, and it has the swirly little green thing above it. So I can do something like this. I can blink away, and then I can be like, oh, hello, friend, and then port right back. That's the kind of thing that makes, you know, Zeratul very strong in regards to that. He can kind of port away, and then he can come back. So level 4, we've got Grim Task. Hero takedowns increase spell power by 5% up to 50%, which can be really, really strong. However, the spell power is lost on death. So if you do get killed, or if you think you might get killed, you know, this one is kind of high risk, high reward type of things.
Choose a talent.
You can see when it's stacked up here, that's quite a significant damage boost. I mean, that's doing 800 as opposed to the 500 that it was doing. But again, you know, if you do get killed, you lose it all and you have to build it up again.
Choose a talent.
Actually, let me go back. I'll take Vorpal Blade. Also at level 4, we have Cleave. Will deal an additional 40% damage over 3 seconds. And then Combo Slash, which is very powerful. After using an ability, your next basic attack within 6 seconds will deal 40% additional damage. It's going to look something like this. So here's a regular basic attack. You see, it's quite a lot of additional damage that you can unload on somebody, especially if you use a number of abilities in quick succession. Let's talk about those abilities. Your Vorpal Blade teleport, that actually doesn't count, but Seeker in the Dark Will, we're going to go back to that in a second. Wormhole, for 2 seconds, you can reactivate Blink to return to the point where it was cast from. So again, just make yourself a little sneakier as you dance around people, so that's pretty solid. Slip into the shadow. Blink gains an additional charge, but its cooldown is increased. Again, that's interesting. If you only use blink, you know, at particular times, maybe the 2 charges could be fine, where you can then, instead of like blinking and then blinking back to where you were, you can then blink in 2 different directions. But here's a really good one here, which is Seeker in the Dark. Singularity Spike will take 50% longer to explode, but it can be reactivated to teleport to the target, which grants you 30% movement speed for 3 seconds, and it also will trigger, let's take it here, I don't know if I did, it will also trigger Combo Slash. So let's look at this. I'm going to shoot, I'm going to attack, I'm going to hit, and I'm going to, oops, I mistimed it, wah wah. You can do something like that. You see that? Okay. So what you saw there, I Singularity Spiked, auto-attacked to get my Combo Slash in, and then I walked away and then hit it again and get another auto-attack in for the extra damage. Just like that. So you can combo this with Blink. You can see I'm doing a lot of I'm not even playing this very, mechanically very well, but you're doing a large number of spike damage. We already talked about Void Prison. Level 13, we have a Shroud of Adun. You'll gain a shield equal to 15% of your max health over 5 seconds while in stealth. Spell Shield is your typical Spell Shield talent. You can toggle it on and off. Every 30 seconds you'll gain Spell Armor for that next ability, and the next few for 3 seconds, reducing the damage by 50%. And then, at level 13, you could also take Mending Strikes, which basic attacks will heal you for 35% of the damage that they deal. And if you combo with, say, Combo Slash, it can be quite a lot, actually. Level 16, Master Warpblade. Every 3rd consecutive basic attack against the same target will deal 125% bonus damage. We have Void Slash. If Cleave hits more than 1 enemy, it deals 50% increased damage. And its cooldown is reduced. Enemy hero, not just enemies. So this isn't going to count against minions. And then, potentially, here's a good one, Sentenced to Death. Deal 50% increased damage to enemies while they have a Singularity Spike attached to them. Let's take a look at that.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
You see, there's that extra bonus damage that we're going to get out of that. So that is really strong. And at 20, Nerazim Fury will give you lifesteal, and the duration is increased. If you go Void Prison, and you should probably go Void Prison, Gift to the Xel'Naga, allies are no longer affected, and enemies are slowed by 50% once they come out. I do think you have 2 other strong options as well. Nexus Blades, basic attacks will deal 20% more and slow enemies, and then Rewind to reset the cooldowns of your basic abilities. So there's a video that was posted recently by, I think it was Psalm from Temple Storm, who plays Zeratul, and I highly recommend you go check it out up on the YouTubes. If you want to pause this and go take a look, because he's clearly much better than I am, and he'll be able to do it. But essentially, if you take a similar build like that we go through, you go Vorpal Blade, you go combo, what we got here, Combo Slash, Singularity, Mending Strikes, Sentenced to Death, and then Rewind. If you time all of your mechanical abilities well and get the the timings just right, you can do a burst combo for like 4,000 damage in about 2 seconds. And you're going to spike down just about everybody. It's going to blow through all of your cooldowns, but it will essentially delete a hero from the board. I'm not going to even try to attempt it, because it'll make me look stupid. I recommend you go check it out. He actually breaks it down in fine detail, and he does it in slow motion, exactly what key presses that you need to press and when. As you can see, my comboing is not so good. I'm also kind of dicking around here, so I'm not really doing everything that I need to be doing. But you can still do quite a lot of damage in a short period of time. So let's look at Zeratul. Who does he combo with? Zeratul's role is really to kind of roam. You're going to get vision for your team because you're going to be stealth, and you're going to try and punish people who go out of position. In a team fight, you're going to try and pick off low damage, low health heroes, heroes that stray a little too far out or kind of separated from their support. Who do you look out for as Zeratul? Like, who are your counters? Obviously anybody you can reveal. Shields are going to be trouble, because generally shields are going to be cast like on the fly, and since you're really focused on the burst damage, it can eat through. They can absorb a lot of your burst damage, which can render that kind of useless. People who can really, hard CC can be trouble. If you do pop and they hit you with some stuns, that can be troublesome for you. So you do got to be careful about that. Like Brightwing could be bad because you dive in and suddenly you get polymorphed, and that can be an issue as well. So let's take a look what we can do. We've had a couple of terrible games, like not even close games, just awful games. I don't know if this one's going to be any better, knowing the way that I play Zeratul, but we'll give it a shot. Hopefully we'll get some nice squishies that can't reveal me, and we'll be able to pick on them and kind of show off how he works. Right, quick cue here. So we've got an Asmodan, we've got a Johanna, a Rainer, and a Lunara, maybe. There it goes. Yep, it's gonna go through. Okay, so we got no support. We got a frontline tank. We got a pusher, and we've got lots of range damage here between Lunara and Rainer. So I'm okay with this comp so far. Let's see what the enemy team has and what map we're on. We're on Battlefield of Eternity, so it's a 2-lane map. We have an enemy stealther here. Lei Ming could be a juicy target to pick on. Rainer, if he's blown his adrenaline rush, could be one to work on. Gazlo's trouble just because of the you can get him down if he's low, but all of the turrets could kind of ping you a little bit and make re-stealthing a little bit difficult. If Nova pops, she's an interesting target. If you know which Nova is the right Nova, she's kind of squishy and she lacks the mobility, so she can be fun to play with. So we do have some targets here. Do have to watch out for Artanis. He'll be hard. He'll be a little bit difficult unless he's super low health. His shields make it hard to burst through. Also, only 2 lanes on this map, so there'll be less rotations going on. I'll be cycling kind of up and down. But once the immortal phase starts, things can get a little chaotic. So we're going to see what we can do here. The Rainers cancel each other out. They've got a pretty solid comp too. I'm okay with what we've got, I think. Although Artanis can take amateur opponent at level 1, and that can burn through the immortal pretty quickly. So there's the chance that we'll have some trouble racing the immortal. So we may need to kind of play defense and attack them to start with. But let's see how that goes. So I'm gonna roam. I'm just gonna roam around to start. Try not to get revealed, and just kind of get some vision on the enemy, and maybe pick off some people unsuspectingly if I can help it. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it. 15-second cooldown on the Vorpal Blade, which is the way that I did go. So you do have to time your teleport back. Lunara looks like she's gonna go top. I'm gonna hang out up top. I'm just gonna see what's going on up here. That's Nova. I do gotta blink away though. There we go. Gotta watch out. There we go. So Nova revealed herself, and then I was able to pick her off, and that's where Zeratul is going to come into play. Just being able to isolate heroes that are out of position, you'll be able to kind of pick them off. All right, so there. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So there is his adrenaline rush. So if he gets low again while that's on cooldown, I'll be able to kill him. That's Artanis coming to try and find me. There he is again.
Let's retreat.
Alright, we got a bunch of people up here. What's going on down on the bottom? Alright. Their Rainer kills our Rainer. That's not so great. I'm going to see if I can pick off Ming, although she backs up. So maybe these guys are just fine. I'm going to follow. I'm going to come back up to the top. I do need to watch out for Nova. I can jump in on somebody, but with the other Nova around, with the enemy Nova around, that's a little bit troublesome. Did not quite get the kill there. but it is going to force him to tap the well. And we're going to go back in here, and Lunar actually gets him with the poison, so that's great. That'll send him back to spawn for at least a few seconds. We're okay over here. That's Artanis on this side. I'm looking for Ming. I don't know where she is. And if Artanis is fighting us, that means that they're not attacking their immortal. And it doesn't look like they're not. I don't see any damage on their immortal. So there's Raynor. Here comes... Oh, that's actually Gazlo. I'm sorry. There is Nova. Goodbye, friend. Oof, that hurt. Almost got killed by that. Now she knows I'm here. She can see me. Yep, she pinged me.
Choose a talent.
We're going to go combo slash. We're going to tap the well. We're going to come right out. So you saw, Ming saw me, so I do have to watch out for that. So far we're doing a good job. Oof.
As the shadows shift, so do I.
Gotta be careful here. Ooh, alright. That's about what I expected. I misplayed that a little bit mechanically, and Raynor was right there. I did get the kill on Ming, though. What's going on over here? We're losing the race now, and I'm not sure why. Raynor's gonna get himself killed. That's not the real Nova. We are gonna lose the race. This really kind of upsets me. We were kicking their ass. I don't know what happened. Yep, that's a dead Nova.
Good hit.
Here is Ming back. We want to be careful about that.
Fight for me. I serve as no nothing.
That was my fault. That was dumb. I misplayed that mechanically. I tried to Vorpal Blade in too soon, and I missed attacking. This would happen. That's why I say this is a high skill cap character. That by itself absolutely should have been a dead Li Ming, and I just misplayed it mechanically, and that was the end of that. Now, fortunately, we got a kill on Lunara. I'm sorry, we got a kill on Nova by Johanna. I'm gonna come up here and see if I can pick off Gazlo. Oh, Gazlo does wisely back away when he sees the Immortal is dead. I'm going to come through. I'm going to see if he is nearby. I'm going to see if I can pop him. He doesn't look like he's over here.
Choose yourself a talent. I serve the Zelnada.
Again, completely misplayed that mechanically again, but we managed to get the kill nonetheless.
You look a bit withered. Heal up at the fountain.
I'm going to cycle back down to the bottom now. I see some action going on over here.
As was foreseen.
This guy is super out of position. I don't know what you're talking about there, actually, but alright. I didn't see what happened, so I'm not sure what he's commenting on. I'll take that, thanks. That's not the real Nova, I'm fairly certain. Yep, there's the real Nova. So So here we go. Let's see what's going on. I'm gonna go head up here. Lunara puts the vision there, which is solid. No one is attacking our objective to start. Want to be careful. Like, I can't dive in 3v1. As much burst as I have, I can't dive in 3v1. There we go. There's a dead Ming. Gotta watch out though. Oh, I walked through that zone. I walked through that, which was terrible. Like, Raynor just... Oh, that was close. I'm getting myself killed. I'm getting myself killed. Well, we're gonna mute everyone. This is gonna be one of those games.
I will do what must be done. I will fulfill my calling.
God damn it. He's coming after me. He may see me, I'm not sure.
I serve the Zeratul. Arun Aladdin. Enemies.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Alright, there's Artanis down, so that's nice. We're gonna void prison here.
Akarat smiles.
That's a dead Ming.
Be undone. Glory to the firstborn.
Now we saw the pulse, so we know Artanis is still alive. Or he's respawned, I should say. He's actually on the bottom. So they're over there. I can't really do much by myself. I gotta be careful about... Oh, that was stupid. Yeah, that was dumb of me. I should have let that one go. Azmodan's telling people if he's just... he's getting his health back.
Will not expect this.
If he just sits there, there he goes. I'm gonna say I'm gonna ping him from being AFK. We did manage to get a keep. I guess we're not. I get a fort. I guess we're just not going to contest the Immortal. Is that what the plan is? Well, there you go. The Immortal's going to come top. We got Nova bottom. We've got Gazlo bottom. Here's Artanis. Ming is bottom. Well, these guys are going to go and deal with the Immortal. We're going to see what's going on over here. Not the best thing to do.
As was foreseen.
Our enemies destroyed a fort.
Using Void Prison as an offensive task right there, not the best course of action, but I probably would have gotten killed otherwise. I'm going to wait for this and just tap it and go back.
Honor command. Is his grand march over
Yep.
so soon? Enjoy your reprieve, mortals.
Now there's two of them there, and I can't really do anything. Artanis is up top. I'm going to cycle up top.
Iron.
Artanis is going to go back, so we're not going to get him. This is just one of those things. You guys can go there. I'm going to take a look over here, just get some vision. We've got 4 people up top here. Here's Raynor.
Entara
god, what was that? Was that Nova? That was Nova.
And I expect your will.
That's gonna be a dead Johanna. There really isn't anything. Yeah. She should have bailed out of that. Like, that wasn't a fight that she could win.
Tremble before your true master. We must not hesitate.
Here we go.
That was good.
That's 2 down. Hell yeah.
Who's alive? Gazlo is alive. Where is Gazlo? There he is. Okay.
Enemy slain.
There, everyone's dead.
That was easy.
Dash some.
Killing spree.
Alright.
Never remain anywhere.
Nova is alive, so I do want to be careful because I'm lowish on health. This Azmodan is going to go through and he's just going to completely fucking ignore all of the push that's coming on over here. Like...
Choose a talent.
We must not hesitate. Yes. I must retreat.
Well, at least this is our immortal.
The gates
I don't imagine it's going to last too long.
lie in ruins beneath
We're going to get some structural damage out of it. We're going to not push at all. Everyone is just too busy fucking off over here. So we're barely going to get any push in on this.
We must not hesitate.
Oh, I want to stay out of that so I don't get revealed.
I will find no rest.
Oh, I'm going to eat that. God damn it.
Is extinguished.
That was a misplay on my part. Definitely shouldn't have focused down Rainer. Knew that he had adrenaline rush up. He somehow still hasn't completed this quest. We're 15 minutes into this game. He somehow has still not completed this quest. And then he went laser build. Like, this guy was telling that people suck. This is an awful build. This is not a good build. And then he took Demonic Invasion on top of it.
I will not.
The funny thing is, we're still okay. We're not completely out of the woods. Like, we're not... this is still a winnable game. This is still a winnable game. We do need to get some map pressure going. They're pushing over here. These guys are asking to get killed, is what's going to probably happen. I'm going to go check out this Bruiser camp, and I'm going to see who's there. Look, there is somebody there. Knew that was going to happen. And that's Gazlo.
On your guard.
Yep.
Heroes. The unending war moves
Oh, Jesus. Flippin' frickin' shit. Missed that completely. That could have been a dead Ming, and I completely missed my Seeker. There we go. There's a dunk.
can withstand me. Certainly no angel.
Like, you can't engage. I knew they were going to get killed. You can't engage 1-on-4 and win. So there's a Gazlo. Not playing very well mechanically at all. Thank God that Asmodan actually got something. Not playing well mechanically at all. Like, I don't know what this guy's doing at this point. Okay. Is he using this Generals of Hell? Like, I'm not sure. So it's gonna come here. Yep, you mistimed that. We're gonna lose this keep bottom because nobody's paying attention. There's his general. Okay, and down it goes, unfortunately.
I will fulfill my calling.
Like, we have to go in here and engage as a team, which we haven't been doing. Like, here's the Immortal, okay? So there's the enemy team, and I gotta be careful about that, because I can't go in there. There's Nova.
Until the wrong game.
Our enemies destroyed a fort.
Nope.
Hey, our corpus under attack. Our enemies destroyed a fort.
Fire will be restored.
See, the Immortal's gonna go down. The core is taking some damage.
That is amusing to watch, but it will not be his end.
God damn it.
They're after our core.
Be restored.
Enemy slain.
Be undone. Harun Aladan. I serve the Zelmaka. Must act. The angel will return soon. You must rip him apart.
That's it. We got this.
So Gazlo is fighting Asmodan. Asmodan's gonna get that kill with the laser. He'll be able to pick up the camp, so that's nice. So we have one dead at the very least for the start of this fight, which is pretty sweet.
Always been the greater power, angel.
So we know Ming is over here. Alright, come on, boys. See, here's the problem. Johanna is top, and she's pushing in that fort. I'm hoping she's going to come rotate to us, otherwise we're just going to be in some trouble here. Asmodan is going to be in some trouble down low. I don't think I'm going to get to her in time.
Need that little thing.
I will find his weakness.
Enemy slain. Walk it off. Death shall carry meaning.
She's still pushing up top instead of taking the objective. She can't do a whole lot to it. In fairness, Johanna's not really a damage dealer, so I mean I will give her that much. I tried to save Azmodan, he got killed. I could have escaped there without getting killed. Probably. I really wanted to get the kill on Ming though. She's done most of the hero damage. Johanna's gonna, now that she comes in, now Johanna's gonna get killed. Like, this is just silly. Okay, we lost everybody, but we get the objective.
Knew it would be simple.
You see, we're still in this, and this is what I'm saying, we're still in this. We have taken some core damage, but they lost a keep, thanks to it, in part at least to that Azmodan push.
I shall crush all you hold dear, angels.
And hopefully we'll get some structural damage out of this. I don't think we're going to get the keep, but perhaps some structural damage. We actually might get the keep. We do. That's pretty solid. Got to be careful about Artanis up over there. Is that 2 of them there?
I'm pulling back.
An immortal never truly dies. I will return, and heaven will fall.
I'm a little disappointed because we probably could and should have gotten some kills out of that. And instead we lost Azmodan who went, oh, that was fucking awful. Instead we lost Azmodan who went low. I wasn't paying attention. I thought that mini-map was Ming and it was Nova, and that's what got me. We're just not paying attention. Like, look at this. This is why she should not be the one to be taking these camps. We did get the camp. We're going to lose. Why did he not eat that? You big fat fucking son of a bitch. These guys are all awful. That's just all I can think of. We're gonna lose the game here. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what happened and why it was that bad. I guess we're not. They're not going to attack the core, maybe. Oh, that's fun.
Nicely done.
Alright, there's Artanis.
That's enough of that.
We're gonna come over here. We're gonna have to kill these guys so they don't do. As much as I would love to attack that immortal, we gotta make sure that we don't suffer core damage first.
As was foreseen.
Thank you, Rainer, because I fucking missed that, misplayed that.
Unto the void.
Everybody's dead except for Gazlo, so I see what Johanna's doing. I'm gonna come over there and see if I can help her out. She does have to be careful though. Just go get the immortal. We could pull this off right here if we get the immortal.
I tire of this stall.
Oh,
Lock it off. Enemy slain.
I misplayed that again. ate the Gravo Bomb. We got some dueling Hyperions. Raynor goes down. Johanna's pushing hard toward core. She's got stuff coming her way. We're going to get this Immortal. I died 10 times. That's pretty bad. Mostly my own fault. So we do get the Immortal. The Immortal is going to go, I don't know where it's going to go. Bottom, I think? Top. Let's go top. Okay, which is fine. That's where all the stuff is pushing. This could be game, potentially. 2 of them are dead. They'll be respawning just as this thing gets there. Now, I'm the only one dead on our team. Hopefully nobody gets killed before the Immortal can start moving. Ming's gonna try to make a core push.
Dead as a doornail.
Alright, there's 2 dead.
Incredible.
The Immortal is finally onto the core. They may actually stop this. No, this will probably be game. Maybe not. They might pull this off. They might get this kill. 29, 18. They do. 18% on the core. Now the question is, are they going to go in and be able to get anything? 8%, 6%, that's gonna do it. Okay, that was a thing that happened. 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
It's about time.
Yeah, it's about time is right. Thank you, Tychus. Artanis gets MVP, which is probably well deserved. I would have got it, but I died 10 friggin' times. This guy sucked. This guy was bad. Lunara was good. Nova was not good either. Let's look at the stats. We'll talk about it, and we'll talk about Zeratul and why I was crap with him, because I was crap with him. Level up. For the record, almost all of this level was before they reworked him many moons ago. And there's a loot chest. Alright, stats. Yeah, 17. I did my damnedest to try and carry this group, even though I got killed a lot, which is also my fault. So what was going on here? I think we were all spread out. I mean, this was a team we were gonna have a lot of deaths based on the composition here. Like, Johanna is our main tank, and while we're engaging in the middle, she's off on the top and pushing. And I kind of get where she's going. Like, she wants to push, but you're the main tank. Like, we need to have some kind of support. Azmodan is the next thing to a tank. I guess that explains so much. These guys were in a party. These two were in a party together. Not so great. This guy was saying, like, you guys suck, and he wasn't very good. He was overextending way too much. I mean, I look at his build. It took him like 18 minutes to finish this quest. Then he went laser build on top of it. I mean, maybe he took it to try and take down Nova. I don't know why you go Demonic Invasion. You really should go Blackpool almost all the time. I personally feel I didn't take Bolt to the Storm. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I question. I question some of the talents, but that's fine. I mean, there are multiple ways to play this game. There's not more than one path. I mean, there's not only one path. There's more than one path, I should say. But for example, Lunara was running away. Nova was triple tapping her, and I think Lunara ate 2 shots. And then Lunara ran past Azmodan, who was running forward. And then Azmodan, who was at full health, instead of just taking one step up, all he had to do was take one step up, walk into the path of the triple tap to protect Lunara, and then shoot the globe. Decided to take 2 steps forward and then shoot the globe. And as the result, Nova got the kill on Lunara. I mean, that's the kind of stuff. Like, people aren't paying attention. Like, he was right there. There were a lot of times that I think everyone was out of position. My play, personally, I don't pretend to be a good Zeratul. I play like most of my deaths were me being dumb. Most of my deaths were me just being overly aggressive, based on the situation, and I got myself killed for it. I mean, that's a lot of misplays on my part. I was not good in that sense. I don't pretend to be good. I don't pretend to say that I'm good. I'm not. I think I got 17 kills. I think you get the impression why Zeratul is such a good character, can be such a strong character, where if you are actually good at him, if you practice enough and you get the timings down and push the right buttons at the right times, he's very strong and he's very difficult to kill and to pin down. So yeah, that's kind of that. Let's go through the talents. I picked Vorpal Blade at level 1. I don't think I use this particularly effectively all that much, but I still think it's a good talent. Activate to teleport to Zeratul's last non-structure basic attack target within 3 seconds, and the target is revealed. Level 4 Combo Slash. After using an ability, your next basic attack within 6 seconds deals 40% bonus damage. 7 Seeker in the Dark. Singularity Spike takes 50% longer to explode, and it can be reactivated to teleport to the target. Once again, teleporting this will trigger Combo Slash. Void Prison. Oh, here's something about Void Prison that I don't think I mentioned in Try Mode that you may have saw at one point. At one point, they're making a big push toward our core. Our core was taking damage, and I used Void Prison on the core. I was careful not to hit. Our team at the same time, but I used Void Prison at the side of the core. Why did I do that? It might have seemed like a wasted Void Prison. Void Prison on the core will protect it. It essentially puts the core. It puts buildings in stasis. It puts the core in stasis. So they weren't able to do any damage to it for those 5 seconds, and it gave us some time to kill that wave, and allowed us, some extra breathing room, which could have been potentially bad. So something to keep in the back of your head when you're throwing Void Prison around. It will stasis the core. It'll stasis the enemy core too. So you don't want to put that on the enemy core and protect it inadvertently. 13 was Mending Strikes. Basic attacks heal for 35%. You do get a lot of value out of this, especially when you synergize it with Combo Slash, because you're going to get bonus damage, and that'll give you some bonus health. 16 Sentence to Death, deal 50% increased damage to enemies while they have Singularity Spike. And at 20 they did Nexus Blades. I think Rewind is very strong. I think Rewind's a very strong talent. At that point I wasn't playing well mechanically, and I'm like, I just want one less button to push. That's all that it was. I do think usually Rewind is gonna be the way to go, but when you're already playing like crap, just make it as simple as possible, and that's why I went Nexus Blades. But that's Zeratul in a nutshell. Hope you have an idea of what he can do. I mean, once Nova popped, that Nova played like me playing Nova. I was able to delete Nova pretty much. Li Ming she gave me a run for my money. I had trouble, keeping up with her at times. Raynor, I can kill him. I really got to kill him when Adrenaline Rush is down. Like, I made a couple of mistakes trying to engage him when I knew Adrenaline Rush was still up, and so he just healed back up and I didn't get him in time. Artanis, I think, made a mistake by going Seasoned Markman and not Amateur Opponent. If you go Amateur Opponent at level 1 as Artanis, you actually do tremendous amounts of damage to the Immortal. So they probably could have done much more damage to the Immortal in regards to that. That would have been pretty great. Yep. Just what you get at 4 in the morning when you're recording this stuff, and you get some crazy nonsense like this. So it's a pretty standard Ming build. I think that's pretty solid. I don't know about Cannoneer. Diamond Skin is a good one, especially when you're up against the Zeratul. Yeah, pretty standard stuff there, I think. But for some of them anyway. for some of them anyway. But that's Zeratul in a nutshell. Very strong against squishies. Lots of potential. A 3-lane map and a lot of people are out of position. You can really punish them, especially if they're low on health. Gazlo's a tough one because when you reveal yourself, all of his turrets are there and they're gonna ping you, and that can be a little bit of trouble. A couple of times I got caught in Gravel Bomb, and that was the end of me. once you get CC to Zeratul, you're pretty much dead. You better hope you have a blink up, and if your blink isn't up and then you're being chased, you're screwed. So you got to be careful. But it's why you got to pick and choose your engagements. I got killed a lot by being overly aggressive, by trying to take people out like 3v1, and a better Zeratul might have been able to do it. But clearly, I'm not that one, and I should have realized that probably 4 deaths before then. But that's kind of how that goes. Anyhow. My name is Conman. I will post the link in the description, so feel free to click on that. If you, I'll say again, if you're interested in Zeratul and you want to see some tips on a good combo, go look up that video from TS Psalm. He really goes. He does a very good job of it. A very excellent job going into the detail of the order that you need to push the things in. He shows it in slow motion. It's pretty solid. Google the hell out of that, and. Yeah, thanks for watching. Do the like, subscribe stuff. Let me know what you think. I hope to see you soon. Take care.